Hello, this is Relly Mangubat and you're watching Drum Basics Season 2. Hi, today we are going to continue our lesson about Change the World. We'll be doing the second part of the piece, and I hope you'll be able to get it right away. Let's begin from where we stopped from the last season. We stopped from the chorus with that buzz, flam, floor tom feel, and it goes to the reintro, and that's where we start this lesson. Okay, so just a little recap, a very short recap of what happened. It was just a flam with your right hand on the floor tom and buzzing it with the left hand on the snare. Okay, and that goes to another 8th note on the bass drum towards the reintro. So the buzz and the flam, that's how it sounds. And the 8th note is after playing that 8th note flam floor tom buzz feel, it's immediately followed by an 8th note bass drum. So okay, then it goes to the reintro. Technically, that's the 4-bar reintro. So let's dissect that so you'd have a better understanding of how it works. Just going back part by part, the first 2 bars of the reintro has a little variation to the groove. So it starts with the same groove pattern, which is bass drum on 1 and 3 and a click, a rim click or a tap on 2 and 4, and it's all 8 notes on the hi-hat with the right hand. So it sounds like this. Okay, so the second bar on the reintro, there's a slight variation because there's a 16 note bass drum towards the second beat. So that's in that falls on 1E and 2. So that's a bass drum before the second beat, right? And a hi-hat opening 8th note before the 4th beat tap. So that's how it sounds like. So that's bar 35, and it sounds like this. Okay, so putting 2 bars together, this is how it sounds. The last 2 bars ends up with a short fill, and J.R. Robinson is very popular with short fills. It may be short, simple, easy to do, but it does the work, and that's what's important with fills. So just to emphasize on that, with a lot of new drummers right now, especially with everything that you see in the internet, you'd be surprised. Most of the young drummers can do a lot of things. Old drummers, or drummers in an older era, can do. Why? Because it's very mechanical for them to just watch and learn. However, the importance of fills in this case, or in a universal case, we use it to introduce a certain part, and that's the importance of the fill, because drummers, we go back to what a drummer is all about, which is timekeeping. Okay, The artistry is still there, but the most important part is you make sure that you provide the time for all of the band members. Follow the transcription on this side, this end. So I'm gonna play it for you. It starts with um, the regular theme of bass, snare, bass, snare. Okay, so that's how the second bar works. Okay, let's put the re-intro together and play them. 4 bars. Moving on. So after the re-intro comes the second stanza. The variation on this is we're not playing the tap anymore. We're doing a strong backbeat, which means we have to play the snare firmly, should I say. It's a strong, solid beat that allows you to listen to the 2 and 4. Allows the listener as well to feel the 2 and 4. So how do I do it? Or how did J.R. Robinson do it? He's actually using the rim and the snare at the same time. We call that rim shot. So the stick hits the head and the rim at the same time. Okay. Well, a lot of drummers right now they apply pressing downwards, right, to the snare, right, to mute the resonating head. Okay. So when you hit the snare, you press it downwards with your thumb to stop and mute the resonating head. That would bring you or give you a very strong backbeat sound, like J.R. Robinson. All right, let's go ahead and play the first 8 bars of stanza 2. This is how it sounds. Okay, the second half of the second stanza, coming from that floor tom feel on the fourth beat, it goes back to playing a standard backbeat snare drum with the 2 and 4 beats. However, there are more variations of the 60-note bass drum, and it falls on every bar differently. Okay. Also, there's another feel that we need to study. It's actually a diddle, which falls on the 6th bar of the last 8 bar. Let's go ahead and play that diddle on bar 5. So it's the last note is the first beat on the next bar. So let's go ahead and continue that last 8 by playing the last 2 bars. So the last 2 bars would just ask you to do a little change on how the chorus will be introduced, and there's a build up for playing the snare, the bass drum, and the floor tom, and a fill on the floor tom, starting with the left hand, 16. Also, there's a 16 note hi-hat opening on the 7th bar. So it sounds like this. Let's start with that 7th bar. 1 and 2 and 3. So that's the 16th note after the 4th beat. So that's 4E. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and continue to the next bar. Okay, it's 1 and 2 and. So it stops with actually on the 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 with that's floor tom starting with the left hand 16, and this is 3 E and A. So it's A, the 16 note, last 16 note on the 3rd beat. So this is how the last bar sounds like. I opened the hi-hat like this, sizzle, and then the first beat goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you play the chorus. So a tempo, it sounds like this. So why am I playing it like that? Because there's a dynamic marking from piano going to mezzo forte. The mezzo forte note falls on the 3rd beat, and that's a dotted 8th note. Well, everybody knows that if it's a dotted 8th note, there's an additional 16 note added to that 8th note. So it's bass drum first on the 1st beat, 1, and then the end is played with the snare and the floor tom and the bass drum. So this is how it's played. All right, so there you have it. That's the second part of this 3 mini series of episode 1 of the Drum Ninja for the song "Change the World." Okay, so on the next episode, that's gonna be 1.3. We'll be finishing the song, and I'll be playing the whole song for you. Right. For the meantime, I'd like to thank our partners, the Drum Ninja School, Progressive School for Drumming, the BatCave Studios, BauesCo. Right. After this video, you would actually see posters flying in the net for the drum classes, which will be happening this summer. So for those interested, you just send me a message and refer to this poster here. It's gonna be posted from the Drum Ninja Facebook page, and I hope we'll be able to share music and drumming together in that summer program. So for those interested, just send me a message, and I myself will be replying their messages and inquiries. Episode 1.2. See you later.